A big question. Is Thomas made for kids? Adoy! Yeah, I'm sorry if you clicked on this and thought I'd have a different answer. I have definitely seen lately a lot of Thomas fans have had a discourse on if this show is for kids. I am very confused on how that would be possible. Wilbert Audrey literally only created Edward purely because it was for his sick son with the measles. In general, his writing style was always made in a way where it was still for children, but he wanted to make it so that adults wouldn't have an issue rereading these stories over and over again to kids. He did not really make this with the idea a big fan base would be created out of it. Now, does that mean Wilbert didn't value his property? Oh, not at all. I mean, he made models of it. He made a whole book based on the series' timeline. He clearly loved his property and he loved making it. But if you were to ask the dude, is the series made for kids? He'd say yes. Now, you might make the argument, but this show has some dark and extreme themes about death and stuff like that. And you are accurate, the TV series and Railway series do have these kind of themes, but they're not exclusive to this. There's a lot of kids' media that has this kind of theme. It's a lot of ways to get kids shaped up for the real world. At the end of the day, the series is all about telling morals and having a strong value on its cast of characters. But does that mean adults shouldn't be allowed to enjoy it? Absolutely not. This is still a series I think could be written in a way that anybody can still really enjoy it, but I think people need to remember this series is still meant for its young audience. It may have a lot of things which are well written, it may and be still entertaining to you, but don't try to deny the audience this is truly made for. In fact, don't be ashamed of it at all. Just because it's for kids shouldn't really be indicative of its quality in general. If it's good in spite of it being for kids, it should be allowed to be seen as such. If it's bad in spite of being made for kids, it should still be seen as such. I mean, I'm still a fan of the series, even though I can still say, yeah, it's a kid's property, because, kids' properties don't need to only be enjoyable to children, and I really like the way this show generally shaped me growing up, and I just think it's a fun thing to talk about. It's not like it's the only kid show to do this kind of stuff. I mean, look at Arthur, look at Sesame Street, look at Bluey. They all have kind of themes and subjects similar to Thomas, but I mean, again, they're still kids shows. And I think it's a lot of fun to see these kind of themes explained to a kid in a way that can make it so magical. If anything, it makes them memorable and adds a lot of merit to them when you go back to them growing up because you realize how well they shaped you. I also think it's okay to criticize the series. I would just say don't criticize it for appealing to you or not. Criticize it on what it's actually doing. I mean, my biggest issues with Thomas are never the fact that the show isn't catering to my audience. It's the fact that the audience it is catering to, I think, deserve better because the show itself has been proven to be better. But yes, Thomas is a kid's show. And honestly, I'd have it no other way. This is something I absolutely think children could really learn from. I think many children will agree they'd had great experiences with this franchise. And I just think it's something fun that a whole family could honestly enjoy. It's always can be a great way to bond with someone. Heck, it has been. The whole reason this show existed was a bond between Wilbert and Christopher Audrey. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you're of the opinion that this show really isn't for kids, I don't know what to say to you. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all realize, yeah, this series is for kids, and honestly, it's something you should all be proud of.